Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
I am probably Commander Cockings, but am I just a concept? Am I real? Am I realised in reality? Am I 3D? Is this a 2D image? I mean, it's a awful start to a show. That'll be amazing. I'm
I,
sorry,
I,
Stuart.
I think you're a concept because the finish is a lot better, more polished than what we got there. But speaking of concept versions, we are looking at one today as part of our look at some concept art. We've done a few of these, and they're really interesting. These are things that almost were, but not quite. And today we're looking at one by Alex Jeager, the U.S.S. Criterion, which is one of the ships designed for First Contact, to be part of the First Contact new anti-Borg fleet.
So just to give some backlog, Alex Jeager, hopefully you've heard of the guy because he is synonymous with Trek and specifically ILM, which is Industrial Light and Magic, the George Lucas Star Wars company, which then is the giant of visual effects in the world. And they did multiple Star Trek films from motion picture and others, sort of the best ones. And then they did all the also the other later films like First Contact and '09 and such. And Alex worked on those latter couple. And in First Contact, he was given the Criterion to design a series of ships. The finals that we saw were obviously the Sabre, Steamliner Norway, and Akira, but they were the winners of that fight. He did alternate concepts with the basic blurb being can't like the Enterprise E because that's new for our movie and it can't have any visual. Hey, is that the E? Sort of thing. So that was just the criteria. And Alex is a very talented chap, and 3 ships straight out the gate in First Contact. And this is one of those didn't quite make it. And that's my briefing. So Stuart, what do you think?
I mean, from the top, it looks fantastic. From the side, it looks like shit. No offense, Alex Jeager.
Hey,
Glad this didn't get
50%
accepted.
awesome though. I mean, that's
It is. We don't have any other views. It might be great from the friend as well. I don't know. But I don't know. It doesn't hold up at the side for me. But then again, I was going to say this is a first concept drawing, but it's not really because it's finalized. It's colored. Usually they don't get to this stage without kind of doing a first pass with just ink. So I don't know. This was like probably close to being selected. It was in the.
although we know how different the Akira and Saber look. There are improvements, iterations. So I'm assuming it would be stretched and whatevered a bit for the final.
Yeah. So I mean. Yeah, those nacelles from the top, they look like robot feet, like Gundam feet. Same kind of markings, and yeah.
I mean, why don't you like the side one then? I mean, it's both very same and very different as a ship vibe. Why is the side one such a quick no?
Because look at it. it's just, I don't know. It's just too squished and. It's like they took a nice ship like the Enterprise Z, a nice long ship, and just went, there we go. There it is. There you got it. You could refine some of these shapes for sure to make it a little more interesting, but it just doesn't have any kind of Star Trek vibe. It's almost too simplistic, I guess. I don't know. I don't like it from the side. From the top, it's great. You can definitely do some things with it from the top, but it needs some work. That's all I'm saying.
So my thoughts is I like the concept of it, which is what it is. It's a concept drawing. You're right. It's second pass. Yeah, the top view is good. It feels much more Starfleet, even so much as having having the Enterprise E style plating, then with the lines of the E windows. You see the facades. You don't necessarily see the blue bits, although I guess that's that top strip. Not they have line of sight, but you don't need line of sight. So they break the mold there, but it definitely feels like the plating of that era of the Akira and such, which he designed. So there is that follow through. When you get to the side, the scaling also breaks down. First of all, the windows are on their side, on the secondary hull, which doesn't quite look right. And then the few windows we do see on the top part, the saucer, again, aren't scaled with the thing. So clearly he didn't quite perspectivize it with the scaling. You obviously need to shrink that saucer, that pointy shovel saucer down to be in line. And I think that would kind of work with giving the Bassards, actual room and space to actually take stellar matter. So as soon as you shrink that down, I think you'd get a much more Trek feel. It being so integrated kind of takes away from it a little bit. I kind of think the secondary hull might work as being that bulbous, given that the engines are so big, the secondary hull's so big, the saws are quite small, and it feels very, designed for speed, and something in the secondary hull could be quite interesting. So it's got a lot of potential, and I like the side view of the engines a lot, trying to give us a new sense with the Bassard rims. There's some clever stuff here. It's just another step further away from the aesthetic, which, the ships we see in First Contact, when put together, fit together, but obviously they've been refined into making sure they match. This one is much further down that line, so it definitely doesn't connect as much.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I can see where he kind of started, I think, with this design is from the top. It has very much of an Enterprise E vibe to that saucer. Just the way that the shapes fall together. It definitely has the start of a great design. The side needs to be much more slender, much more stretched out, I think, to really work for me. The nacelles are an interesting creature because they are unique and their own thing. Never really seen a Star Trek nacelle that looks like that exactly. It doesn't have the blue glow of the warp coils anywhere. Well, we do still have the red Bassard collector, but it's a little thin strip, and it's just an interesting choice. It'd be cool to see this 3D modeled, actually, and be able to see it in 3D. It gets a few different perspectives of angles and things, but...
Because would it feel fat? The Sabre is on such a fine line, with the secondary hull feeling kind of big, but it's right on that line of it working. Would this feel fat? Would it be very in proportion? Would there be a massive shuttle bay at the back to give reason? Would the deflector be extra huge to imply this is, a dedicated, has a massive deflector? Some ships need to be torpedo boats, some ships need to be landing craft, some ships need, deflector 3.0s that can deflect away and do spatial anomaly stuff. Every ship can't be a jack of all trades. Yeah, and I don't know. I still like having ships have line of sight with the blue grills. I feel like that is core because it's just a fundamental of how warp systems work. And when you're designing a ship with nacelles, to not have them, like you're choosing where to put the blue bits, right? Mm-hmm. So to put them on like the outer bit only is like, oh, I mean that was a choice. That's why they're on both sides normally. And so I'm very curious about this because really I'm guessing the blue is the top slither. Those are the warp coils.
Yeah, I thought that when I first looked at it, but it also matches the color of the center of the hull at the top there. So I don't know if it's just supposed to be a darker gray or I don't know. It just doesn't feel like those would be the glowy elements.
Would the back bits work better? But actually have them be slightly hexagonal ones. They've got line of sight, but they're not a circle. They're angled, but like obviously in armor. But
yeah, that whole back piece that's kind of like a rose colored, like rose or pink color. If that was all blue, glowy, that would be actually really cool for a nacelle. I think that would look really neat and work.
Some rims though. What do you think?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like bevel on a phone, it's like there's still an edge of hull. It's not like 100%.
Oh.
Or do you mean it would be all blue, all coil exposed?
It would be cool to be all blue. Kind of like one large piece, like a crystal almost. That'd be neat. But I could see with the bevel, some kind of... Yeah, I could see that as well, working as well. I mean, these are obviously concept shapes. They need to be refined still to the final... go through, but I don't know. There's something about those nacelles from the side that just bug me. The top looked great. I really like the top look of the nacelles. They should be stretched out a little bit longer, though. The side just bugs me a little bit.
We want to see you guys out there make this in 3D, tweak it, refine it. Send anything you make to trekyards@hotmail.com. We'd love to see it. And who knows, we could feature it on a future episode because this is just the start of the journey. Is this sketch? Maybe you can end the journey.
Yes, that would be excellent. Put your own... Well, I'd like to see one exactly designed like this. I know we don't have the front or back views, so we don't really know the details. Because there's a few things I would change right away. So looking forward to seeing what, if you guys want to tackle that, that'd be cool. Anyway, I guess that's it for this episode. Put your thoughts down below. What do you think about the design? So yeah, guys, let us know what you think in the comments down below. We love reading them, and expand on this concept. Let's make it something new, add it to the universe, because a lot of these concept sketches kind of deserve a place in Star Trek history, and to see them realized would be really neat. So, but anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click the notification icon, and you can support the channel as well. There's many ways to do so.
Such as, that's the natural lead in there, you can support us on Patreon, which is a way that, well, people like YouTubers, because YouTubers tend to support each other as well, can support us on a regular basis. Each month, a little bit of money goes a long, long way. Or join our lives every single week and do a super chat, which is a great way of having your comment read out loud, your voice heard, and even talk to us directly, because we're there right then, live, to talk to you. Or do a one-time donation at trekyards.com, or just use our links down below to multiple websites to buy cool things, both Trekyards branded and Eagle Moss and more. So just multiple ways to help, and please do. And thanks in advance.
That's right. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Commander Cousins. Bye, guys.
Bye, Reddy.